Okay, so today I want to focus on writing rules for arithmetic sequences that alternate. So let's get into it. So before we actually start, you need to know this equation up here. All right, so I will get into a different video on why that equation works later, but you just need to know that right now. So the first thing I like to do with these alternating equations when they're arithmetic is I pretend that they're not alternating and find the rule for what they would be if they're not alternating. Hopefully that would make it a little bit easier on you. So this is the way I like to find the rule. You can probably already see the rule here. If they weren't alternating, would just be 2n, right? Or 4n, sorry. But let's go through the process. I think it'll be a good exercise. And let's figure it out. So the way I like to do it is set up a system of equations. So the nice thing is we already know a base n. That'll be -4 when n is 1, right? Now when n is 1, all the n terms cancel out. So we get -4 equals a plus b plus c, all right? Then when n is 2, it'll be 8. Sorry, let me get rid of that. It'll be 8 equals a n squared. N in this case is 2, so it's going to be 4a plus n bn. N is 2, so 2b, and then plus c. And then finally, 12 equals, in this case, n is 3, so we have 9a, because 3 squared is 9, plus 3b plus c. All right, so now we have 3 systems of equations, and we want to solve it. So what I like to do is subtract this top one from both of these. So if we do that, we will end up with the equations 4 equals 3a, right, because we subtracted this, plus b, and then the c's cancel out. Then we subtract this from that, and we get 8 equals 8a plus 2b. All right, so then we need to solve for one of the variables. So let's start with b, and that'll be the easiest. So we subtract b from both sides. Let me rewrite that down here. Subtract b from both sides. Or not, Jesus Christ. We subtract 3a from both sides. And we end up with b equals 4 minus 3a. So let's go back up here and plug that in. So 8 equals 8a plus 2. And remember, b equals 4 minus 3a. All right? So 8 equals 8a plus 8 minus 6a. If we subtract 8 from both sides, all we're going to end up with is 8a minus 6a equals 0, and we can just tell a equals 0. All right, so that means the first bit of our equation, a is going to equal 0. Then let's go back up here and let's solve for b. Now, if we have 4 equals 3 times 0 plus b, this cancels out and we get 4 equals b. So b equals 4. All right, then let's go back to our three-way system of equations, and let's use this one because it's the simplest. So we get 4 equals 0 plus 4 plus c. If we subtract 4 from both sides, we get 0 equals c, or c equals 0. So then let's go back up to this, and the only term we have is b to the n. So a to the n equals b 4 to the n. All right, so we would be done typically if this wasn't alternating. But how do we have it alternate like this? Well, pause the video, see if you can figure that out. I'll give you a hint, though. The hint is -1, okay? So I'm going to assume you've tried to do it now. Now, let's take -1, all right? Multiplying anything by 1 doesn't change its value, all right? So if we put -1 to the power of n in this case, what's going to happen? Well, when n is 1, we get 4 times 1. That's just 4 times -1 to the power of 1. -1 to the power of 1 is -1. So 4 times -1, we get -4. Now what happens when n is 2? We get 4 times 2. That's 8 times -1 to the power of 2, or squared. -1 squared is just 1. So we get 8 times 1, +8. I think you're starting to see how this happens. So let's do this one now. So, once again, let's pretend like it doesn't alternate. And let's find the rule. So, we have 1 equal, I'm going to move a little bit quicker on this one. 1 equals A plus B plus C. All right? Then 6 equals 4A plus 2B plus C. 11 equals 9A plus 3B plus C. Let's subtract this top one from both of these to create a new system of equations. We get 5 equals 3A plus B, and 10 equals 8A plus 2B. All right? So then solve for B. We get B equals 5 minus 3A. Come down here, plug that in. 10 equals 8A plus 2. 5 minus 3A. Because remember, if B equals this, then we can still plug this in for B, and it doesn't change the value at all. That's basic algebra. 10 equals 8A plus 10 minus 6A. Subtract 10 from both sides. We get A. We're going to get A equals 0. All right, you're welcome to check that yourself. By the way, in any arithmetic equation, A is always going to be equal to 0. All right, because if A wasn't equal to 0, that'd be geometric sequence. But we just want to make sure of that. So A equals 0. Let's come back up here. All right, and let's use this. Let's use this one in this case. We get 10 equals 8 times 0 plus 2B. Sorry, that's a little off. Then we get 10 equals 2B. Divide both sides by 2. B equals 5. All right, so then B equals 5. Let's come back up to our original equation up here, and let's use this one down here. 11 equals 9 times 0 plus 3 times 5 plus C. All right, 11 equals 15 plus C. Subtract 15 from both sides. C equals -4. All right, so C equals -4. So our rule, if it wasn't alternating, would be 5n minus 4. But that's not going to work because it's alternating. Fix that again. Once again, try to see if you can figure out how to do this. In this case, the 1 is not negative. So the first term in this equation is not negative. All right? So we're still going to have -1, but if we just put -1 to just the power of n, we would get this whole thing times -1, which would make this negative, which we don't want. All right? We want it to be positive. So what do? We make it to n minus 1. You could also do n plus 1, I believe, but n minus 1 is just cleaner in my opinion. So then when n is equal to 1, this is to the power of 0. Anything to the power of 0 is 1. Then you get 5 minus 4 equals 1. All right? Then n equals 2. You get 2 minus 1. -1 to the power of 1 is just -1. Then we take 10 minus 4 is 6 times -1 is -6. Hopefully you learned something, and hopefully now you know how to deal with arithmetic sequences when the symbols are alternating. Thanks for watching. Tell me if you spotted anything I said wrong, or if you have anything additional to add. Thank you.